Howdy folks, Dave here with Farm League Sports Cards, and today we're going to dive into this week's crop, A Bushel of Greatness, with Mr. Henry Louis Aaron, Hammerin Hank. But before that, I'm going to share a few words with you about Dave here, so you'll know in my newer videos what to expect. As you may already tell, Dave does not speak that well, and you will always only see one hand on the mat or on screen because Dave had a major stroke and things just don't work anymore. But Dave, being a card nut like everybody else, I was surely determined to start making videos and sharing my cards and my experiences with everybody else. So without further ado, let's jump into today. Today we're talking about Hammerin Hank. Hank Aaron, born 1934 in Mobile, Alabama. He went to high school where he played football and baseball. Later he went to college where he left to play ball for the Southern Negro League. Then in 1952, he was called upon by the Braves farm system to play for the Eau Claire Bears. In 1953, he moved up to Double-A ball to play for the Greenville Braves. Then, luckily, in 1954, due to another guy's injury, he had his major league debut. Hank started making them hits, them power hits we all know him from. In 1956, he hit 22 home runs and kept hitting more and more each year. In 1957, he led them to a World Series with hitting 44 home runs. And we're going to start here. What we got here is the gold. Forgive me for the glare. We have the gold 23 karat card produced by the Dansbury Mint in 1996. This one here I picked up from someone in a Gem Mint 10 from a grading company Dave knows nothing about, WCG. I have no idea what company this is. I was just glad to get it in a slab to protect it from smears and smudges and from tarnishing. Okay, from what Dave was talking, we're going to start here. In a year that means a lot to me. In the year he hit 44 home runs. His first MVP year, 1957. So the first card I'm going to share with you is the 1957 MVP, Hank Aaron. One of my favorites. This is a very crisp. This card should be graded. This card is very crisp. Corners are good. I'll get that in there for you. You get a better look at it. This is a very crisp card. It is in excellent condition, and I was proud to get a hold of it. The next year, 1958, is a card that means a lot to me, but I do not have it at the moment because PSA has had it for several months. And that would be my 1958 Foes, Aaron and Mantle. I also found this card in excellent condition. It was such a good condition, I had to have it graded. I did not want nothing to happen to this card. So we know after I sent it in, the COVID hit. And well, as many of you others have had cards stuck there, Farm League has had his 58 Foes stuck there for a long time. Alright, let's move on. But we do have the 1958 All-Star card. Hank Aaron was All-Star for many, many years. This is a card you would see very, very regular basis every year was the Hank Aaron All-Star. Because he was an All-Star year after year after year after year. I do not have a 1959 at all All-Star MVP or player card. No 59s yet. I am lacking some 50s cards, but I will get them in the future. That's why it's called collecting, because I am still collecting. Alright, so we're going to move on to one of Dave's favorites, the 1960 Hank Aaron. This card too is in excellent condition. One of my favorites. The centering lacks a little bit top to bottom, but they don't mind. I don't mind one bit. To be able to get this card in the condition that I own it in, I was very happy. 1960, and now 1961. The 1961 Hank Aaron player's card. Oh, I keep holding that up there out of focus there, out of the screen. Dave is new at this, and I will get better as time goes on, no doubt. As well as glares and camera angles. I learn, you learn, we all learn. 1961. Next up, 1962. This card does lack some great corners, and there's some white. I move it close. I'll show. I don't mind showing you the white there on the top edge. It is not one of my better cards, but it is one of my better cards to me because it's one of my favorites. 1962 was one of my favorite sets ever, as Topps redid the design a little bit by using the wood grain in 1987, which is one of my favorite sets ever. Old Dave just loves the wood grain. Who don't like the wood grain on the edges of cards? I, for one, love it. 1962. And the 60s were a rough time for Henry Hank Aaron because of racism. He had a rough time in the mid-60s because all the death threats. After Jackie Robinson broke the barrier and the colored guys started playing ball, it took a long time for people to accept it. And then during a lot of the games, Hank Aaron, he had bullets threw on the field at him. He had death threats mailed to the Braves organization front office, more than I would probably care to say. But he seemed to always take it in stride. He was one of the most quiet. He was one of the biggest men in baseball, but a quiet man. You never heard him complaining. You never heard him talking out. You never heard him hollering. There's no such thing because he didn't do it. He was a very well-respected man in the game of baseball and among his culture. Okay, here we go. Big Dave does not have a 63. I thought I did own a 63 until I started going through these cards, and I realized, Dave, you don't have a 63. So we move on to a 64. This is the 1964 Topps Hank Aaron. This card is also a nice card. It's in great condition. It has one soft corner in the top left-hand side. Hey, but I'm okay with that. What's a soft corner in a card you're never going to part with? Let's just keep on rolling because Dave's got a lot of air. Okay. Oh, here we go. Now we move into a leaders card. 1966 RBI leaders. Hank Aaron, Bob Clemente, and Richie Allen. I love leaders cards. It does you a lot. If you look on back here, there's a lot of information there on who did what and when. And this is our RBI leaders card. So Aaron had 127 RBIs in 1966. Clemente had 119. And Allen had 110. And then we go, there's a lot of other players down there like McCovey. Willie McCovey had 96. Willie Stargell had 103. See who else? Let's see more. Ernie Banks hit 75. Well, I was expecting to see Mantle. How many RBIs did Mantle have in 66? I do not see Mantle at all on this top RBI leaderboard. Okay. And moving on. 1968 All-Star. Like I mentioned in the 58, Aaron made All-Star, almost every year. You can get an All-Star card for almost every year. He was just that good. So here it is, the 1968 All-Stars. Sporting News, Hank Aaron. Next card up, 1969. 69 home run leaders. Here we have Willie McCovey, Hank Aaron, and Lee May. 1969 home run leaders. In 1969, Aaron hit 44. Willie McCovey hit 45. May hit 38. Alright. There's somebody, there's a name right there. Bonds. Simply says, not Barry Bonds. That would be Bobby Bonds, Barry's dad. Hit 32 home runs that year. Alright, moving on down the road. Oh, we have duplicates. Alright, so we have two duplicates. And there's the All-Star card from 1970. 1970 All-Star, Hank Aaron. 1969 was the 14th year in which Hank has scored 100 or more home runs. Moving on down here. Here's a card. This is a year of cards you must keep in a protective case. 1971. My 71 has been protected for many, many years. No white edges, no bad corners. My 71 Hank Aaron. All black edges or black border cards, you have to protect them. As you will know by the 1971 type cards in 2020 Heritage, they have the same look as this one. You must take care of them cards. Must. And here we have a 71 flashback. Oh, this is a newer card. 71 flashback. I believe that is out of 18 Heritage, if I'm correct. Well, we got writing on the back, so... Excuse me, this card came out of 2019. 2019 Heritage. Oh, excuse me, I'm wrong again. The 71 design is 2020 Heritage. So forgive me for my mistake. This here, it came out of 2020 Heritage. A 71 flashback, Hank Aaron, All-Star game. Okay. Let's keep on rolling here. 1971, RBI leaders. Joe Torre, Willie Stargell, and Hank Aaron. Moving right along here. 1972, tops, Hank Aaron. Not pristine. This card has two soft corners and a very small crease. Let me see if I can get that on the screen a little bit for you here. Dave will give it a shot. You can't see the crease. I don't think so. But we do have two soft corners there on that 72 Hank Aaron. Here we go. 1973 Hank Aaron. The card looks to be in pretty good shape. Alright. Let's roll on out. You'll see here we got here. All-time record holders for home runs. Roger Maris and Hank Aaron. This card is, I believe, a 72. Let me take a little glance here. Well, I hate to admit that, oh, here we go, right here on the side. Okay, excuse me, that's 1979. 1979. Throwback, all-time record holders, Roger Maris and Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron, he broke Maris's record. He broke several records. He broke Maris's record. He broke Stan Musial's record. He broke the Babe's record. Here we are again. Here we see what we got here. I believe this is a 1973 Hank Aaron, all-time home run king. This card's in excellent condition as well.